So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Daredevil19 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Bandai Tamashii Nation's SH Figuarts Antman and the Wasp, Antman with the Flying Ant. So let's get into it right away and take a quick look at this ginormous box. So we do get a much larger size box with this Antman, since we do get the Flying Ant with the figure, and that Flying Ant is huge. So we do get the one right there in the front of the box. On the top to say SH Figuarts, Antman and Ant. Then we do get an image of Antman. On the left says Marvel, Antman and the Wasp. We do get the sticker that says Tamashii Nation's quality. Then we do get the warning, blah blah blah, Tamashii Nation's and Bandai. And then here's the bottom of the box with the barcode and blah 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 stuff. Then we do get an image of the Antman figure with the ant. Then here is the top of the box. And then the one side of it here with Antman growing to normal size, I guess, with an image of the figure as well. Then the other side of the box does have an image of Antman riding the flying ant, and then the back of it does show a couple cool poses you can get the figure into along with the ant there. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get this figure, but to take a closer look at Antman with the flying ant, and I'm not sure which ant this is, since they kept getting eaten by those damn seagulls, and that was actually a pretty funny part in the movie. Alrighty, taking a closer detailed look at Antman first, then we will take a quick look at the ant, or I believe that one was Antonio Banderas, or one of the names that he gave him. But Tamashii Nations, once again, did a very nice job with another Antman figure. I do like the look of this one a lot more compared to the Civil War one. And the visor, or where the eyes are at, it's a nice translucent plastic. I think it's red, or maybe it's clear and it's red underneath, but it looks really nice. Really dig the way that looks. The helmet just looks awesome overall. It's definitely my favorite part about the figure. I like that very nice shiny red paint at the top right there, and just very nice sculpt all on the side around the mouth area and everything. So very cool looking helmet there. Now the torso here looks pretty good. We get some nice sculpted texture on the maroon parts, and I do like the way the maroon looks a lot more on this Antman compared to the other one. It's a little more shiny, and it just has a better look to it. You can see like a zipper or something right there. And very clean paint where the black meets the maroon all throughout the torso. And then the back here, this piece looks pretty cool. Nice work throughout the back. The arms, the shoulder pad pieces are on a hinge connected to the arm right there. Very nice sculpt and paint all throughout the arm. And I do like the way the gauntlets look. I think that looks pretty cool. And then we do get his Antman belt, which also turned out really nice. I really dig that red paint that they used on the silver pieces. Then we do get some sculpted wrinkles around the pants and the crotch area. There is none on the torso and the arms, as I just noticed, but we do get some all throughout the pants here, and we get some nice sculpt and paint. Once again, that nice sculpted texture on the maroon. Knee pads look pretty cool. There's the back. Knee joints don't look too bad. The lower legs, nice job once again. Really no QC issues or anything. And then the feet, very like basic looking, I guess, for an Antman figure, and we do get some sculpted treads at the bottom. So overall, I think Tamashii Nations did do a very nice job with another Antman figure, and I can't be any more happy with how this Antman turned out. Now let's take a look at the giant ant. And taking a quick look at the ant here, this is pretty much the star of the pack, and the reason why people got this set instead of just the solo Antman figure. And the ant's pretty cool. It's not like incredible, but it is a pretty cool addition to this Antman figure. And we get a very nice sculpted texture all throughout the ant's skin, which looks really nice. The legs look pretty cool. There's a decent amount of articulation on it. It's not the best. It's pretty much just swivels, but we'll go over that during the articulation, and the wings are articulated as well. But you can see the sculpted texture all throughout the ant legs right there, and at the end of the ant legs and behind it, these are very sharp, so be extra careful with that. And the body of the ant looks pretty cool. You can see the straps from this harness right here that Antman does sit on, which look nice. And then the head of the ant here, the eyes are a glossy black, and we have some nice sculpt to it as well. And then we do get the pinching things, pincers I believe they're called. They look alright. And then we do get the antennas, which you do have to peg in, and they do swivel around. Same with the wings, you have to peg those in as well. And I don't know what to call this, I forgot what it's called. I'm just going to say the ant butt, but we do get some sculpted like dots all throughout it, which look pretty cool. And then there's the bottom right there. See all the sculpted texture all throughout the ant skin, which looks dope. And then we do have the harness that Antman does sit on, and this thing looks really nice. Very nice sculpt and paint all throughout it. And one issue I did have with this figure, I did have a minor break with it. The two handles right here, when I took this right out of the package, I put it down and I touched these just like that. That's all I did, and they broke off. I was like, are you kidding me? What's going on with that? I thought you guys like putting those high quality stickers on your damn boxes. It was just really weird that those came off. I did have to super glue them back on, but that was really the only issue I did have with the figure. But the ant is definitely a cool little addition to this set here, and Ant-Man does sit on this seat perfectly. He has some gripping hands for the handles and everything, and I'll show you what Ant-Man looks like on this ant right now. And here is Ant-Man on the ant, and as you can see, this is a really cool display piece, and he does sit on the ant perfectly. He's not going to fall off or anything like that. I mean, if you flip him upside down, then he's going to be hanging from the handles, and it's not too difficult to get him to grip onto the handles. You got to wedge the handle between the thumb and the rest of the fingers, and it should slide right on there. You might have to wedge the fingers open a little bit, try to get the grip a little bit wider, but the hands are such like a hard plastic, it's a bit difficult to do it. But I mean, it's a dope little set here, and they look awesome displayed together. So there's a quick detailed look at Ant-Man and the ant. Let's continue on. Moving on to the accessories, and not including the ant, this is the biggest letdown once again with another SH Figuarts Ant-Man figure, because all you get is some alternate hands, and that is it. Now if you get the ant, you do get the ant, and then you do get this stand which you could place the ant on, because it does hold the ant in place. But I mean, like, come on, Tamashii Nations, you couldn't include like a small Ant-Man like before, or a couple of them in different poses, and maybe an unmasked Paul Rudd head? Like, come on, man, what is going on? But what we do get with this Ant-Man, the one with the ant, you do get this stand here, and as you can see, it's just some basic stand. It is like sculpted to fit the ant on top of it, which I'll show you right now. And the way you get the ant on this little stand here is very, very simple. This is the front end right here, the pointy end, so that's the direction the head will be facing, and you just place the ant on it just like that. As simple as that, and it's kind of a pointless accessory because this ant does stand on its own perfectly fine, so kind of pointless to have it, but we do get that. And then we finally get 6 alternate hands. And starting on the right, we do get a pair of fists, of course, which do come on the figure out of the packaging, and all the hands are very simple to swap out. But you get some very nice sculpt and paint detail throughout all 6 hands. But anyway, that is the very little amount of accessories included with this Ant-Man. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review, shall we? Now for the height of Ant-Man and the measurements of the ant. So we'll take a look at the ant first here, and from the ant butt to the head, it looks like he's around 10 inches long, and then the height of the ant looks like it's about, I guess, 3 3/4 inches tall. Now for the height of Ant-Man, it looks like he's just shy of 6 inches tall. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Mark 50 Iron Man, the Infinity War Captain America, Bucky, and Black Widow, and I feel like this Ant-Man scales pretty well with the other MCU figures. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Infinity War Black Panther, Thanos, the Guardians of the Galaxy Star-Lord with Baby Groot on his shoulder, and the Mezco 112 exclusive Black Armor Iron Man. And then here he is compared to the Storm Collectible Sub-Zero, the SH Figuarts Sage Mode Naruto, the Mafex Tactical Suit Batman, and the Figma Black Swordsman Guts. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Awakened Warrior Super Saiyan Goku and the Mezco 112 Deadpool. Anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. So now for the articulation, and this time we will go over the ant first. The antennas, like I said, are separate pieces. You do have to peg them in, and they can swivel. The head can swivel. All 6 legs can swivel, and then the ant's butt can swivel. It would have been cool if they put like the head and maybe the butt on ball pegs or something like that. I think that would have been a little bit better. And then the wings are on ball pegs, so you can move them around a bit and swivel them as well, as you can see right there. So it does have a decent amount of articulation. So that's the ant's articulation. Now let's take a look at Ant-Man's. And for Ant-Man's articulation, pretty much same movement as the Civil War Ant-Man figure. So we do have 2 points at the neck here. The upper neck joint did get a little loose on mine, so that is a bit disappointing, but you can get Ant-Man to look up about that much with the upper neck. It does look down pretty well with the upper neck also. Then you do get very nice pivot up there, and then of course it does swivel. The lower neck joint goes forward a pretty good amount, so you can get him to look pretty much directly down, and then goes back a tiny bit, so he does look up a little bit more. Does pivot pretty well and also swivels, so pretty good movement at both the neck joints. Then we do get a point of articulation at the torso right here, right under the chest, and Ant-Man crunches forward a little bit with that joint. Does go back a little as well, and then just very minimal pivot there. Not the best, but we do get some nice swivel. The waist here, much better forward movement compared to the torso. So with both joints, he does crunch forward pretty well. Both joints goes back decently. Not the best pivot at the waist, and then it does swivel. So really not the best pivot combining both the joints right there. Then for the arms here at the shoulders, the shoulder pad pieces are on a hinge, so you can hinge them up and down. And then he does have a butterfly joint, and the arms can almost meet, and then we do get a nice circular motion out of the shoulder right there, and the arms do go out to the sides 90 degrees, so that's good. They do go up and down. We do have bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that bend in pretty much all the way. Then we do have a ball hinge on the wrist, so it does swivel and hinges back and forth. Now for the legs here, they do drop down a tiny bit, so Ant-Man can kick forward a little more than 90 degrees, which is good. Goes to the back almost 90 degrees, and let's see if he can Jean-Claude Van Damme it here, and Ant-Man actually almost can. For some reason, my left leg can go out 90. Oh, there we go. He can Jean-Claude Van Damme it, which is definitely awesome. Then we do get a little bit of a swivel at the hip joint. Then at the leg here, it does swivel, and it's like Iron Man's thigh joints. It's on a ball peg, so you can move it all around and swivel it. So I do like that point of articulation. Then we do have a double jointed knee that bends back all the way, so that is awesome. Then the ankles, they do swivel, but they get hindered a little bit by the armor pieces, I guess, around the ankles. Does hinge up a really good amount, hinges down really well also, and then we do get a pretty good ankle pivot. Not the best, but definitely better than some other recent SH Figuarts figures. But overall, this Ant-Man does have some very nice articulation, and you're going to be able to get him into pretty much any type of Ant-Man-like poses, and I'm about to show you some of them right about now. But anyway, that is my review of the SH Figuarts Ant-Man and Ant set. Hope you enjoyed it. If I had to rate this set between a 1 through 10, I'd have to give it an even 7. If you would like to know the price and where to buy these figures, I did get mine from Agelessgeeks, so you can head over to their website at agelessgeeks.com, or I would recommend going through their Instagram or their Facebook page. I will put more information in the description below. And if you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification bell. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, oh well, I guess you didn't like it. But thanks for watching. I will see you later. Antman and the Wasp, Antman and the Ant thing. SH Figuarts, Antman and the Wasp, the Ant. Damn it. Damn you! So we do get a much larger size box with damn you. On the top does the SH Figuarts, Antman and the Ant, What? I guess the Antman type symbol. We do get the warning blah blah blah, blah blah blah, and blah blah boo. It looks like he's a G2. Infinity War Black Panther, Thanos, the Yuadiwa, and Jubity-Choo. The pointy end is the front where the head would go, and you just put... Whoops, he didn't really stay on it that well.